normally I'm done filming for the day by this time, but this man right here, you probably confused because you're like saying all he talk about is wash and goes, but no, it's not. Y'all just don't listen. I got this comment, right? So they left that comment and I'm like, who is this dude? And I'm not gonna lie, at first when I just first went on the channel and I started looking through, you can see it's a whole bunch of Team Natural stuff. You know I can't stand no wash and goes, and I tell myself I'm about to watch none of this wash and go crap, but then that's why I'm practicing what I preach. I be telling y'all to shut up and just listen to what I got to say before you judge me. And I'm so sorry, Mr. Dickey Man. What's your name? Let's just play the video and I'm gonna stop it until you will know why I'm okay. Dickey, that's why I said it. I'm not calling him Dickey because that's
great question. I have long 4B hair and I can't wash it every day.
So first of all, he about to say this is a good question, but first of all, I started watching it and I'm irritated with him because I'm like, here you go with this 4B stuff. Now let me be very clear, I don't agree with everything he's saying in the video because y'all know how I feel about the curl type of chart. It's not real. Andre Walker made it up and it's literally only useful to describe visually what your curls look like. So for example, if you're going to buy some curly hair extensions and you want something to match your curl pattern, you could say, oh, get 4C clip-ins because 4C clip-ins visually look like this hair, but other than that,
long
it has
4B
no
hair
back end about
and
nothing.
I
So
can't wash it every day. How can I manage it through the week? So this is a good question because I think sometimes some of the comments or the idea that all I talk about is wash and go styling. I talk about wash and go styling because it was never in your vocabulary. And I talk about wash and go styling because historically women with kinkier textures were told that water wasn't good for their hair.
First of all, that's something, and of course we're gonna get through his video, but that's again something that irritates me because who said that? Water ain't good for our hair. Nobody. Water is what? Water should be in nobody's hair 24/7. You'll get hydro fatigue, and the only reason that black girls don't like water is because if you get your hair straight, and it's not just black girls, anybody with curly hair that straightens their hair and then you wet it, it's gonna mess up the style. Even if you have naturally straight hair, if you put burrow curls in and you get it wet, it's gonna revert back. So I don't get that part.
I talk about wash and go styling so much to really drive home that water is a source of hydration. It allows you to recondition. So if you've been chasing dry hair your entire life but not wetting it, go figure. But there are some cases or textures that are so thick, right? I generally tend to think that women with kinkier, curlier textures have a thicker texture than women with straighter or wavier hair because of the volume and density and the dryness that those textures have over straighter, wavier.
But the dryness is only coming because of the methods of styling that most women with naturally curly hair, they don't comb their hair enough in a day, and combing your hair is how you get the sebum from the roots to the ends, plus the styles don't allow for stretching.
And sometimes there are textures that are so thick and so long that wash and go styling is just not reasonable.
It shouldn't be reasonable for
And
nobody.
in those cases, I suggest prepping the hair for protective style. Protective style is any style that doesn't require you to have to wet your hair. That's all a protective style is, right? But more importantly, and it's the most overused, generalized term, I hear it constantly, oh, well, how do you wear your hair? Oh, I do a protective style. I said, and the hair is just tore up.
And the hair is just toe up, but it's true. But at the same time, I agree with him to a sense, the term protective style is thrown around too loosely. Like, even for example, oh, and I know y'all not gonna like this, but I don't care, a lot of y'all think that like 2-strand twist are a protective style. That's not a protective style. What classifies something as a protective style is it's a style that either protects your roots or your ends. And in a twist style, neither your root is something that protects your scalp and your ends. And with twist out or with just regular plaits, neither your scalp or your ends are protected. And I know a lot of people are not going to want to hear this, but I did this for well over a decade, and across the board, every last client that I had, any client that I had that did twist outs and wash and goes and stuff like that on a regular basis with a certain texture of hair, their hair was shot. Now, there were other clients that I had who were in like, and I don't do curl typing, but in like the 3A up into like 4A, all the way up into like 4A, that were able to do it without breakage. But once you get to like 4B, C, W, X, Y, Z, baby girl,
a protective style should mean that your hair is in better condition when you come out of that protective style than when you went in. Otherwise, it wasn't a protective style, it was a tore-up style. And what's important to know, back to our texture spectrum, is why it's important to know where you are within the texture spectrum is that you can hone in on a specific regimen that's for your hair texture, not for someone else's. So for instance, the terms like wash and go styling,
that's a nice way for him to say that wash and go with everybody.
It helps to redefine and find a more customizational regimen that is based off of your hair texture. So it is important to identify your hair texture so you can know what not to do, and that you can know what to do. And so here's the deal with
so you can know not to
doing a protective style. A protective style, and ladies, you can be lazy with your hair. It's quite all right, but you have to be intentional about being lazy about your hair. You can't leave kinky hair to sit in itself or twist it up when it's wet and expect anything to happen great about your hair, right? What's going to happen if you say a 4C texture or a 4B texture for that matter? What happens when you do a twist out on wet hair? Well, when that dries, all that water evaporates and all of that hair goes back to its dried out state, and then for a week it's being left to sit in itself. What you fail to realize is that just because your hair is kinky does not mean it's not made up of these individual strands that represent the entire community of hair on your head. And if the goal is not to have locks, then don't let your entire head lock up. Because what's going to happen when it locks up after it's dried out and the water evaporates, and you decide, days have gone by and you decide to take it out, that hair is going to break, right? So what I suggest, and who I can have to corroborate this fact, is that blowing your hair out with a blow dry and a comb attachment on your wash day, soft pressing it, but giving a conditioning treatment is essential to prepping the hair with all your favorite leave-in conditioners and oils before you put it away in a protective style. So here's the deal. Except for
that, don't do that. Except for that part, don't do that. Don't be greasing the scalp and rubbing all the oils and butters into the scalp. It's not needed. That's the part where older cosmetologists stop greasing scalp.
I have my clients that are some of them
I told you why they grease, not to grease scalp.
and or older, and they bring their
mamas.
They bring their mothers in or their grandmothers in, and mother hasn't had a haircut in 20 years, and they're bringing them in, treating them to a haircut because she ain't had a haircut in 20 years. And I'll say, mother, so what do you do with your hair? Oh, I don't do anything. Every 3 weeks I wash it and condition it, and I blow it out, and I soft press it, and I put it in a bun. That's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. And she has hair down to here, and it's thick, kinky hair. And so I said, hey, thank you, Lord.
Hey, mister.
Because there's facts to this. Every mature woman knows that she can't leave her
sitting
natural
in
hair
itself.
sitting in itself.
Hey, did you hear how this grown man, he just said every mature woman. I don't care how any of y'all feel about nothing. The way that y'all wearing y'all hair is equivalent to how we was wearing our hair when we was little girls. When I was a little girl, my mom would wake me up in the morning and she would wet my hair a little bit and put some little twists in it and put some little bows in it. That's not, what are you doing? Girl, you grown. What is you doing? Girl, oh my God. Hey, mister, it ain't just me, bro. Ooh, mister.
She has to do something to prep it to be able to put it away in her regal bun, or a soft put away something, or a plait, or a pretty braid, or something. She knows that she can't leave her hair sitting in itself because it'll just lock up. It'll be more manageable and it won't look good. And a woman of her age needs to look good. And she's not trying to look tore up. Just because you want to be on the natural hair gang does not mean you should be walking around with your hair tore up and thinking that, why is it the same length that it was 5 years ago? It's important to know that heat does not damage hair, people damage hair. Say you did a whole week's worth of wash and go styling. You know, like this week I don't feel like being bothered with wash and go styling. I don't feel like wetting my hair. I'm gonna do a protective style. Say you wouldn't want to be bothered with your hair, but you just want to put it back in a ponytail or a top knot. That's cool. On your wash day, after you've done a week worth of wash and go styling, I'm just giving you an example of a regimen. After your week's worth of wash and go styling on your wash day, of course you're going to wash your hair with a no-suds shampoo because your hair is super healthy.
But mind y'all, even though he's saying this, don't act as he's saying this part. I need y'all to understand and not forget what he just said. Now this part with him talking about wash and go styling, 4B, 4C, he is not talking to y'all. Y'all are not supposed to leave y'all hair like that. Even he's just being nice at this last part. Like, oh, if you want to leave your hair, you need to stay for a couple of days. But your ends are going to break. They're going to snap. It is going to be hard for you to retain length. And even if you think your hair is getting longer, when you straighten it out, it's going to look like this. I have been doing this for so long, and all of the clients that came to me whose hair looked like this, before they sat in my chair, they went to hairstylists or cosmetologists. It was Team Natural. They gave them all these little Team Natural wash and go regimens, and they are not for everybody. I know y'all not gonna like this, but these are the textures that wash and goes are for. They don't have the mechanical damage, but some girl
from being done every single day, right? And on your wash day, you'll shampoo, condition, and you'll take gobs of leave-in conditioner, your favorite leave-in conditioner. Hopefully it's Hair Rules Nourishment Leave-In Moisturizer. And guess what?
You the one who taught everybody this puddle of conditioner bullshit. Mr. Dickey, we was doing real good. Everything was real good in the hood, real good in the hood. But Mr. Dickey, you the one who teaching everybody the bullshit with the puddles. All of this time, Mr. Dickey, I've been trying to figure out who the hell been telling everybody to put puddles of conditioner in their hair. It was you, Mr. Dickey. Mr. Dickey, you've been making my life real difficult, Mr. Dickey, okay? Because you teaching everybody to put puddles of conditioner in their hair, huh? Now everybody walking around with scalp and follicle inflammation. What the fuck? What, Mr. Dickey? What the hell?
But by the way, for years
and you
we have been told by you that we needed to get larger sizes because the stuff was so good.
I knew it.
So we went from an 8 ounce to a 25 ounce.
See, Mr. Dickey, I'm not hating on you, but you're not fooling me. Huh? I was born in the summer, goddamn, but it wasn't this summer. My birthday is July 20th, and it ain't this year is not the year that I was born. Okay, see, I knew it. I knew that. Anybody who telling you to put a goddamn big ass puddle of conditioner in your hair like that, they selling the product. They want you to hurry up and use it and go buy some more. I'm sorry, Mr. Dickey, but you know goddamn well that's some bullshit, and that much conditioner does not go in hair. I need y'all to look it up. The human hair shaft can only absorb anywhere between like no more than 40%, anywhere between like 32 to 36% is what the hair shaft can absorb. So if you put even if you only put a dime size amount, or let's say a quarter size amount of conditioner on one section, it can only absorb 36% of it. So the rest of this damn puddle is just sitting on your hair. And that's why, because Mr. Dickey, look at him, smiling and cheesing and shit, holding it up like this. Because he wants you to come by the shit out of that conditioner. That's why he telling you to put the pile in there. Mr. Dickey, see, that's why I be irritated with the wash and go bullshit. Because y'all know y'all washing and going to get them to buy some more conditioner. Talk about some... You cool, Mr. Dickey, but that's, you know, it's some goddamn bullshit. You don't even have no hair on your head. You don't use that much conditioner. You know damn well you don't use that much conditioner. The hell is wrong with y'all?
So we now have 25 ounces of leave-in moisturizer. Leave-in moisturizers or leave-in conditioners are never in place of rinse-out conditioners. They're only in addition to. So you will never use a leave-in conditioner in place of a rinse-out conditioner because they're just not that heavy. What's important to know about leave-in conditioners is they are there like they're moisturizers. Like they're moisturized like you put on moisturizer for makeup before you put on your makeup.
Creates a barrier.
But in terms of leaving it in your hair for protective style, whether it's a blowout and a braid out, a blowout and a twist out, a blowout in braids, a blowout in wigs, a blowout and a weave, how you prep the hair before you put it away will determine on whether it's a protective style or a total style. That's important to know that when you prep the hair before you put it away in a protective style, that you're giving it a leave-in conditioner, you're giving it a conditioning treatment. So it's kind of like wearable therapy, right? You blow you blow a golf ball size amount of leave-in conditioner in your hair, add all your favorite oils, castor oil,
that was a lot more than
do your scalp oils, tea tree, peppermint, sweet orange oil, basil, rosemary oil are all great for the skin and your scalp. Your scalp is the most neglected thing on your part of the skin on your body, so treat it well. And then you prep the hair, you've blown it out, you've given a conditioning treatment and stretch it out all at the same time. And it's super manageable because you did a week's worth of wash and go styling. And it's super manageable because every time you go to get a protective style, you know how to prep it. So it will immediately change your grade of hair, which oftentimes goes misidentified because your regimen is so crap. It's important to hone in on a regimen so your hair is easier to manage, and that just means hair that looks good without a lot of work. Sometimes it is unreasonable for super thick, kinky, curly, 4B, 4C textures to do a wash and go styling every day. Wash and go styling every day. I've seen those textures, Mr. Dickey, and I have consulted with them and tutorialed with them.
And what you say?
And I get it, but it's important to know how to take care of your hair if you're not doing wash and go styling.
Sure, you don't need to be doing wash and go, period, Mr. Dickey. And you don't wash and go nothing because you don't even have no hair. You cool, Mr. Dickey, but that was some bullshit, you know it. So, you been ding-a-ding. This is all I've been talking about all these years, okay? Nobody trying to be on here trying to argue with y'all. That's not what I'm trying to say. It was bits and pieces. And as you can see, this is why I don't watch other hair YouTubers, because my brain cells, because it just be... My dad used to say all the time, and I don't have nothing, I'm not saying nothing bad about you, Mr. Dickey. I'm not saying nothing bad about you. But, oh, excuse me. People mix up pieces of the truth with half truths or I don't know. It be a bunch of stuff crammed up together, and because you have pieces of truth in there, it's confusing. But I don't think he was doing that. I think that everybody needs to really listen to what he's saying and not try to pick out the bits and pieces that you want out of it, because the man clearly said if you have a certain texture of hair, wash and goes are not for you. And he literally gives y'all the same exact reason that I do. It causes so much more mechanical damage, so much more breakage when you are trying to just use products to do your hair. And the thing is, if you have to put that much product in your hair for your hair to be done, that is not your natural hair. If you think about it, you having globs of product in your hair, if you a woman who has her hair straightened, or a woman who wears her hair blown out or whatever, all she has in her hair is shampoo, conditioner. The conditioner was rinsed out in full, and then she has leave-in conditioner, and the leave-in conditioner is the heat protection for the blow dryer, and here are a couple of other properties, right? And then And then after that, she'll use a heat protectant if she's going to straighten her hair, and a serum if she has frizz. And then if she's going to do a set, then after the leave-in conditioner, then you'll do rollers or flexi rods or whatever the setting is, right? And you do not use that much product, versus when you do natural styling, you put in globs and globs and globs of product in your hair. That is not your natural hair. That is not how your hair naturally looks. This is how your hair looks when you put a bunch of products in it and manipulate it with your fingers. But it's not your natural style. You choose to manipulate like with your fingers versus me manipulating with a blow dryer, right? Like he said, it is not the person that is called the blow dryer or the flat iron that is causing damage, but the user, the person who's using it. If you don't know what you're doing, a lot of people don't like it when I say this, but wash and goes are not meant for certain textures of hair. And when the Team Natural community came around, y'all looked at the wash, y'all named it wash and goes, but prior to the Team Natural calling it wash and goes, women were just scrunching their hair. Like, I have always worked in predominantly white salons, and they will always scrunch their that's what they called it. They just called it scrunching, and they would go like this. They would be like, oh my god, Stan. And they would take it, and then they would go like that, and then they would take a diffuser, and like, so. And then clients that I had who had a hair that was a little more curlier, they would scrunch their hair too. But guess what? Even though their hair was scrunched and curly, they could still brush it throughout the day. So it's different. It's not the same thing. But then when Diva Cuts and Diva Curls came around, everybody's just like, this is how we're supposed to wear our hair. No, it's not. It was never something that was supposed to happen. And for this reason, Black women are the leading cases of scalp inflammation, follicle disorders, and different types of hair shaft disorders. So I just wanted to say that real quick. We about to get back to our regular scheduled programming, but I just wanted to say that I feel so seen, even though it was some bullshit in that video, Mr. Dickey. I'm sorry, it wasn't bullshit. You were selling your products, get your money, but come on now. But he is being straight up. He telling y'all straight up, hey, this ain't for y'all. If your hair look like this or like this, my little stuff that I be trying to tell y'all to do, wash and go, it ain't for y'all. Y'all need to go blow dry y'all goddamn hair and flat iron it. That's literally what he just said. The person who y'all been following. So the people that y'all have been watching, the people who do the wash and goes and stuff like that, they got it from these people. He's been doing this for years. They saw him doing it, didn't listen to the fact that this man said it is not for all textures, and y'all just did it and made it for all textures. Not everybody got scalp inflammation and hair shaft disorders, and people would be yelling at me talking about I don't like black people and I don't like natural hair. Y'all be on that bullshit. Go wash your goddamn hair. Stop walking around with wet hair. Mr. Dickey said it, and I said it. And Mr. Dickey, you better stop telling people put all that goddamn conditioner in their hair. Oh, by the way, this is from the Apothecary. This is my mugwort and hibiscus. It is so good. Even like literally there's nothing in here but ice. It don't even need sugar, baby. Like, shop the Apothecary. I just needed something to calm me down because I feel so sick. Thank you, Mr. Dickey. Cheers, cheers.